Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Every day your support means the world. Please keep watching, tap the like button, hit subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback and encouragement help this channel grow and bring you even more gripping tales. Stay tuned. The silence in the grand dining room was broken only by the ticking of the ornate clock on the mantelpiece. The air was thick with tension as Amelia looked across the long mahogany table at her husband Marcus. His eyes were cold, his jaw set. She could feel the pulse in her temples, each beat echoing louder in her ears. Suddenly, in a burst of fury, Marcus grabbed the lavish birthday cake from the table and hurled it across the room. Time seemed to slow as the cake sailed through the air, frosting in layers, separating mid-flight. Amelia didn't have time to react before it struck her, the soft sponge and sweet icing exploding upon impact. Pieces of cake splattered onto the walls and floor, leaving a messy trail. Amelia stood there, stunned. The rich scent of vanilla and sugar filled her nostrils as bits of cake slid down her face and dress. She looked at Marcus, her eyes wide with disbelief. He had never acted like this before. The servants, witnessing the outburst, quickly shuffled out of the room, leaving the couple alone in the aftermath. "Do you have any idea how this makes me look?" Marcus shouted, his voice echoing off the high ceilings. "I can't believe you forgot to pay the bills. The electricity was cut off during my conference call. Do you know how embarrassing that was?" She wiped a glob of frosting from her cheek, her hand trembling. "Marcus, I'm sorry. I thought I had set up automatic payments. It was a mistake," she said softly, trying to keep her voice steady. "A mistake? You're my wife. You're supposed to handle these things. What good are you if you can't manage simple tasks?" His words cut deeper than any physical blow could. Amelia felt a lump forming in her throat. She fought back tears, refusing to let him see her break. "I handle everything in this house, Marcus. The staff, the events, your schedules. I'm human. I can make a mistake." He scoffed, turning away from her. "Maybe I need someone more competent." Her heart ached at his harsh words. Taking a deep breath, she gathered her composure. "If that's how you feel, perhaps you should," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. Without giving him a chance to respond, she turned on her heels and walked out of the dining room. As she made her way down the corridor, her footsteps echoed, each step heavier than the last. She could feel the eyes of the household staff on her, sympathy etched on their faces. She kept her head high, refusing to let them see her crumble. Amelia reached their bedroom and closed the door behind her. Leaning against it, she allowed herself to exhale shakily. She went to the mirror and stared at her reflection. Her dark skin contrasted sharply with the white frosting smeared across it. Her usually bright brown eyes were dulled with hurt. She gently wiped her face clean, the tears she had been holding back finally spilling over. She sat on the edge of the bed, memories flooding her mind. She recalled the early days of their relationship, when Marcus was attentive and loving. They would spend hours talking about their dreams and aspirations. She had fallen in love with his ambition and drive, but now it seemed those very qualities were tearing them apart. Amelia reached for her phone and scrolled through photos of happier times. Pictures of them laughing at a charity gala, dancing under the stars on their anniversary, and cuddling on the couch during a movie night. What happened to us? She wondered. She knew she couldn't stay in this house tonight. Not after what had happened. Making up her mind, she grabbed a suitcase from the closet and began packing a few essentials. Clothes, toiletries, her journal, the things she needed to feel grounded. She glanced back at the room, taking in the luxurious furnishings that suddenly felt foreign to her. Quietly, she slipped out of the room and made her way downstairs. The staff watched her with concern but didn't say a word. As she reached the foyer, James, the butler, stepped forward. "Madam, Is everything all right? He asked gently. She offered a faint smile. I'll be fine, James. I'm just going away for a few days. Shall I arrange for a car? No, thank you, I'll manage. She appreciated his kindness, but needed to do this on her own. Amelia walked out into the cool night air, the city lights shimmering in the distance. She pulled her coat tighter around her and headed towards the gate. As she stepped onto the sidewalk, she hailed a taxi. Where to, ma'am? The driver asked. Central Station, please, she replied, her voice steady. During the ride, she gazed out the window, her mind racing. She needed to get away, to clear her head. Before long, the taxi pulled up to the train station. Amelia purchased a ticket to Willow Creek, her hometown. It was a small coastal town, far removed from the hustle and bustle of the city. As she boarded the train, she felt a mixture of sadness and relief. She found a seat by the window and settled in for the journey. The rhythmic motion of the train was soothing. She watched as the landscape changed from towering skyscrapers to rolling hills and open fields. As dawn approached, the first hints of sunlight peeked over the horizon, casting a warm glow on everything it touched. Several hours later, the train pulled into the quaint station of Willow Creek. Amelia stepped onto the platform and took a deep breath of the salty sea air. Memories of her childhood came rushing back, playing on the beach, fishing with her father, helping her mother in the family bakery. Amelia! A familiar voice called out. She turned to see her mother, Linda, waving enthusiastically. Tears welled up in Amelia's eyes as she hurried over and embraced her. Mom, I didn't expect you to be here, she said, her voice muffled against her mother's shoulder. Linda pulled back, cupping Amelia's face in her hands. A mother always knows when her child needs her. Plus, James called to let me know you were on your way. Amelia smiled softly. Of course he did. Come on, let's get you home, Linda said, picking up Amelia's suitcase. They walked the short distance to the family home, a charming cottage, with a white picket fence and a garden bursting with colorful flowers. Stepping inside, Amelia felt a wave of comfort wash over her. Sit down, honey. I'll make us some tea, her mother said, guiding her to the cozy living room. Amelia sank into the familiar sofa, the cushions embracing her like an old friend. She looked around at the photographs adorning the Walls family gatherings, her parents' wedding, her high school graduation. Linda returned with a tray of tea and freshly baked cookies. Now, tell me what's going on, she said gently. Amelia hesitated, unsure of where to begin. Her mother listened patiently as Amelia recounted the events of the past few months, the growing distance between them, his increasing temper, and the incident with the cake. Oh, sweetheart, Linda said, reaching out to hold her daughter's hand. I'm so sorry you've been going through this. I just don't understand how we got here, Amelia said, her voice cracking. I love him. Linda squeezed her hand reassuringly. Marriage isn't always easy. It requires work from both parties. But throwing a cake at you is unacceptable. Amelia nodded, a tear slipping down her cheek. I needed to get away to think. Take all the time you need. You can stay here as long as you like, her mother assured her. That evening, Amelia took a stroll along the beach. The sound of the waves crashing against the shore was soothing. She kicked off her shoes and let the cool water wash over her feet. Looking out at the vast ocean, she felt a sense of peace she hadn't felt in a long time. Back in the city, Marcus paced the length of his office, running a hand through his hair. He had tried calling Amelia multiple times, but her phone went straight to voicemail. He slammed his fist on the desk in frustration. How could she just leave like this? He picked up the phone and dialed James. Where is she? He demanded when the butler answered. Mrs. Hamilton has gone to Willow Creek to see her mother, sir, James replied calmly. Marcus sighed, his anger fading into concern. Thank you, James. He hung up and sat down heavily. Images of the previous night's events flashed in his mind, the look of hurt on Amelia's face, the shock in her eyes as the cake hit her. Guilt gnawed at him. He had crossed a line. Marcus knew he needed to make things right. He spent the next few days finishing up urgent business matters, all the while thinking about how to apologize to Amelia. Finally, he decided he needed to see her in person. Arriving in Willow Creek, Marcus felt out of place. The small town was a stark contrast to the bustling city he was accustomed to. He found the address James had given him and pulled up in front of a charming cottage. Taking a deep breath, he walked up to the front door and knocked. A moment later, Linda opened the door. "Marcus," she said, her expression unreadable. "Mrs. Bennet to see Amelia," he stammered. She regarded him for a moment before stepping aside. "She's out at the beach. You can wait inside." He nodded gratefully and entered the cozy home. "Thank you." As he sat in the living room, he noticed the warmth and love that permeated the space. Family photos, colorful quilts, and the scent of freshly baked goods filled the air. It was a home full of a stark contrast to the coldness that had settled in his own house. After a while, the front door opened, and Amelia stepped inside. She froze upon seeing Marcus. "Marcus, what are you doing here?" she asked. He stood up nervously. "I needed to see you, to talk." She glanced at her mother, who gave her a gentle nod before retreating to the kitchen. Amelia crossed her arms, her gaze steady. "I'm listening." He took a step closer. "Amelia, I'm sorry. I was completely out of line. I had no right to treat you that way." She looked away, her expression guarded. "You really hurt me, Marcus." "I know," he admitted, his voice filled with regret. "I've been under a lot of pressure at work, but that's no excuse. I've taken my frustrations out on you, and that's not fair." She met his eyes. "Why didn't you talk to me about it?" He sighed. "I thought I could handle it on my own. I didn't want to burden you." "Marriage is about sharing burdens, Marcus. We're supposed to be a team," she said softly. He nodded. "You're right. I've been so focused on my work that I lost sight of what's truly important." Amelia took a deep breath. "I love you, Marcus, but I can't continue like this. I won't be disrespected or made to feel unvalued." He reached out and gently took her hands. "I understand. I promise to do better, to be better. Please give me a chance to make it up to you." She searched his face, looking for sincerity. "Actions speak louder than words." "I know," he replied earnestly. "Let me show you. Come back home with me." Amelia hesitated. "I need to know that things will change." He gave her a small smile. "How about we start by taking some time off? Just the two of us. No work, no distractions." She raised an eyebrow. "Are you suggesting a vacation?" "Yes. We can go anywhere you like. Reconnect. I want to make us a priority." She considered his offer. The idea of spending time together away from everything was appealing. "All right," she agreed cautiously. "But on one condition." "Anything," he said eagerly. "No more shutting me out. We communicate openly, even when it's difficult." He nodded. Agreed. They spent the next few days in Willow Creek, allowing Amelia to share her world with him. They walked along the beach, visited local shops, and even helped out at her mother's bakery. Marcus found himself enjoying the simple pleasures of small-town life. One afternoon, as they sat on a bench overlooking the sea, Amelia turned to him. "Thank you for being here." He smiled. "Thank you for letting me." She took his hand. "I want to believe that we can get back to how we were." "We can," he assured her. "It might take time, but I'm committed to making it work." A week later, they returned to the city and began planning their getaway. They decided on a secluded cabin in the mountains, far from the demands of their daily lives. The cabin was nestled among towering pine trees, with a clear lake nearby. The air was crisp, and the sounds of nature surrounded them. Without the distractions of work and technology, they found it easier to open up to one another. One evening, as they sat by the fireplace, Marcus shared stories from his childhood he'd never told her before. Amelia listened intently, learning more about the man she married. In turn, she shared her hopes and dreams for the future. They cooked meals together, went hiking, and spent hours talking under the stars. The walls that had built up between them began to crumble. "I forgot how much I enjoy just being with you," Marcus admitted one night. Amelia smiled warmly. "Me too." As their vacation drew to an end, they made a pact to carry this renewed connection back into their everyday lives. Back home, Marcus took steps to reduce his workload, delegating tasks and setting boundaries. He made a point to be home for dinner every night and to keep weekends free for them. Amelia, feeling more valued, threw herself into her passions. She began volunteering at a local community center, helping underprivileged youth. Marcus supported her endeavors, often joining her. One Saturday, as they were teaching a cooking class to a group of teens, Marcus watched Amelia interact with them. Her warmth and kindness shone through, and he felt a swell of pride. "You're amazing with them," he remarked afterward. She blushed slightly. "They just need someone to believe in them." He wrapped an arm around her shoulders. "You're making a real difference." "Actually," she said thoughtfully, "I was thinking about starting a scholarship fund to help them pursue higher education." Marcus's eyes lit up. "That's a fantastic idea. Let's do it." "Really?" she asked, surprised. "Absolutely. We have the resources, and it's a worthy cause," he affirmed. Together they established the Bright Futures Scholarship, aimed at providing educational opportunities for underprivileged youth. It became a joint passion project. Months passed, and their lives became filled with purpose and joy. The mansion transformed from a cold, empty place into a warm, welcoming home. They hosted gatherings for friends and family, filling the halls with laughter and love. One evening, as they sat on the veranda watching the sunset, Marcus took Amelia's hand. "I've been thinking," he began. "About what?" she asked, resting her head on his shoulder. "About our journey, how far we've come. I couldn't have done any of this without you." She smiled softly. "We've both grown." He turned to face her, his eyes reflecting the golden hues of the sunset. "I want to spend the rest of my life making you happy." "You already do," she replied sincerely. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. "I know we already have rings, but I wanted to give you this." Amelia's eyes widened as he opened the box to reveal a delicate platinum band encrusted with tiny diamonds. "It's a symbol of our new beginning," he explained. "A reminder of my love and commitment to you." She felt tears prick at the corners of her eyes. "Marcus, it's beautiful." Gently, he slipped the ring onto her finger. "I love you, Amelia." "I love you too," she whispered, leaning in to kiss him. Their lips met softly, sealing their renewed vows to one another. In that moment, surrounded by the hues of the setting sun, they knew they had weathered the storm and emerged stronger. A year later, the Bright Futures Scholarship had helped dozens of students achieve their dreams. Amelia and Marcus attended the first graduation ceremony of their scholarship recipients. Watching the young adults walk across the stage to receive their diplomas filled them with immense pride. After the ceremony, one of the graduates, a young woman named Jasmine, approached them. "Mr. and Mrs. Hamilton, I wanted to thank you personally," she said, her eyes shining. "You changed my life." Amelia smiled warmly. "We're so proud of you, Jasmine. You're the one who worked hard to earn this." Jasmine shook her head. "I couldn't have done it without your support. I hope to one day help others the way you've helped me." Marcus placed a hand on her shoulder. "Pay it forward when you can. That's the best thanks we could receive." That night, back at home, Amelia reflected on how much their lives had changed. She sat at her desk, writing in her journal. Marcus walked in, noticing the thoughtful expression on her face. "Penny for your thoughts?" he asked, sitting beside her. She closed the journal and looked at him lovingly. "I was just thinking about how far we've come, how we've turned something painful into something so beautiful." He took her hand. "It's all because of you." She shook her head. "No, it's because we worked together. We both decided to change and grow." He nodded, appreciating her words. "You know, I was thinking, maybe we should expand the scholarship program. There are so many more young people we could reach." She grinned widely. "I was thinking the same thing." They laughed, reveling in their shared enthusiasm. Over the next few years, the Bright Futures Scholarship expanded nationally, impacting countless lives. Amelia and Marcus became known not just for their wealth, but for their generosity and dedication to making a difference. Their personal life flourished as well. They continued to nurture their relationship, always prioritizing communication and quality time together. One morning, as they enjoyed breakfast on the patio, Amelia had news to share. "Marcus," she began, her eyes twinkling. "Yes," he replied, sipping his coffee. "I have a surprise." He raised an eyebrow playfully. "Oh, do tell." She took a deep breath, her heart pounding with excitement. "We're going to have a baby." He nearly choked on his coffee. "What? Are you serious?" he exclaimed, a mixture of shock and joy on his face. She nodded, tears of happiness welling up. "Yes, we're going to be parents." Marcus jumped up and pulled her into a tight embrace. "This is incredible. I can't believe it." She laughed through her tears. "Believe it." He pulled back to look at her, his eyes misty. "You've just made me the happiest man alive." Over the following months, they prepared eagerly for the arrival of their child. They turned one of the spare rooms into a beautiful nursery, decorated with soft colors and whimsical characters. As they navigated this new chapter, their love and commitment deepened even further. They attended parenting classes together, read countless books, and leaned on each other for support and reassurance. One evening, as they sat together on the couch, Amelia resting her head on Marcus's shoulder, she sighed contentedly. "Are you nervous about becoming a father?" she asked softly. He thought for a moment. "A little, but mostly, I'm excited." She smiled. "Me too. Do you think we'll be good parents?" he asked, a hint of vulnerability in his voice. She looked up at him. "I know we will be. We'll give our child all the love and support they need." He kissed her forehead. "With you by my side, I believe it." Months later, they welcomed a beautiful baby girl into the world. Holding her tiny form in their arms, they felt an overwhelming sense of love and gratitude. "What should we name her?" Marcus asked, gazing at their daughter's peaceful face. Amelia smiled softly. "How about Hope?" He looked at her, understanding the significance. "Hope. It's perfect." As they settled into parenthood, their lives took on new meaning. The late-night feedings, the lullabies, the tender moments, all precious memories they cherished. Their families came together, filling the house with warmth and laughter. Linda was overjoyed to be a grandmother, doting on little Hope every chance she got. One afternoon, as Amelia watched Marcus rocking Hope gently to sleep, she felt her heart swell. "You know," she whispered, not wanting to wake the baby, "I couldn't imagine a more perfect life." He looked up at her, his eyes filled with love. "Neither could I." She moved closer, resting her head against his. "Thank you for being the man you are," he smiled. "And thank you for helping me become him." Their journey had come full circle. From the depths of misunderstanding and hurt, they had risen together, stronger than ever. Their love had blossomed into a partnership that weathered every storm and celebrated every joy. As they looked toward the future, They knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together as a family. The sun cast a warm glow through the windows, enveloping them in light. Hope stirred softly in her father's arms, a tiny smile gracing her lips. Amelia and Marcus watched their daughter, their hearts overflowing with happiness. "Welcome to the world, little one," Amelia whispered. "We're so glad you're here." Marcus nodded, his voice barely above a whisper. "Our greatest adventure yet." They sat together in peaceful silence, embracing the beauty of the moment. The path that had led them here was filled with ups and downs, but it had shaped them into the people they were: strong, compassionate, and deeply in love. And as they held their child, they knew that the best was yet to come. Thank you so much for spending your time with me every day. Your support means the world. If you enjoyed this story, please keep watching. Tap the like button, hit subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback and encouragement help this channel grow and bring you even more gripping tales. Stay tuned and see you in the next video.